quarter of a mile, turn right onto Bath Road, A4. Turn right onto Bath Road, A4. Continue on Bath Road for 3/4 of a mile. In a quarter of a mile, at Huntercombe roundabout, take the first exit onto Huntercombe Spur heading to M4, London. Exit the roundabout onto Huntercombe Spur. Keep left at the fork. In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4.
sense physically. It's not like we're lacking of people who could have stepped forward. Did they make the right call? Let's get the background to the story. The expert opinion first. OBC's Matthew Thompson. Matt.
Nick, it was a moment of reflection and solemn remembrance for the life of Prince Philip, but before it had even begun, the event was already at risk of being overshadowed by controversy and family politics. The disgraced Prince Andrew, on his first public appearance since that multi-million-pound settlement in a sex assault case, played, well, a very prominent role, walking the Queen right to her seat at the front of Westminster Abbey in full view of the cameras. And look, Nick, so stage-managed are these royal events that it's being assumed this couldn't have been an accident. So therefore, the assumption has to be the Queen is potentially deliberately doing this, perhaps endorsing her son, some have said, stating very clearly that although he may have stepped back from public life for obvious reasons, he still has a role at family occasions. Here's royal commentator Peter Hunt.
There's a sort of rehabilitation on speed. It might embolden Andrew to think, well, I can revisit my sacking. Well, you know, if I can escort my mother at such a high-profile occasion, why can't I unveil a plaque? And so I think within the Windsor bubble, they'll think, well, it all passed off fine, but I wonder whether in the wider world may be less forgiving, and it may well question the Queen's judgment on this.
Royal sources briefed the Daily Mail this morning, Nick, that other senior family members were dismayed by the events and they'd hoped that common sense would prevail. Perhaps Andrew would quietly and inconspicuously attend the service for his father. Clearly that wasn't to be. But the service itself, to focus on briefly, was a poignant tribute to Prince Philip as both a family man and a statesman. The Queen, Princess Anne, Duchess of Cornwall, attended wearing Edinburgh green in tribute to him. The hymns, I think, Nick, were notable for the fact that the congregation was actually able to join in and sing this time around, something, of course, that was banned at the time of his funeral last year. And in stark contrast, Nick, to the Queen's lonely mourning figure pictured at that sombre occasion last year, yesterday the pews were full to bursting with family, with dignitaries, including 4 kings and 5 queens, Nick, extraordinary assembly of guests. And there was a touching eulogy from the Dean of Westminster.
A man of rare ability and distinction, rightly honoured and celebrated, he ever directed our attention away from himself. He put privilege to work and understood his rank as a spur to service.
And it was in many ways a fitting completion of that unfinished business of the Prince's funeral under COVID restrictions last year. But once again, Nick, as I say, the fear is that will be overshadowed once again by family controversy.
Matthew Thompson reporting. You'll hear from Kevin Maguire, one of the senior editors at the Daily Mail. He wrote a piece for their website last night. The Queen made a colossal mistake. More from Kevin in a minute. Let's go first to my OBC colleague Camilla Tominey, who of course you'll find on Sunday afternoons from 4. She's associate editor of the Telegraph. She has a piece in today's paper headlined, "With Andrew by her side, Queen sent message that family comes first." Camilla, when you saw the Duke of York story, what was the first emotion that went through your heart and your mind? Good morning.
Well, a degree of surprise, I think. I mean, on one hand, I don't know if we can begrudge someone the right to go to their father's own memorial service, but he took a more prominent role than was planned, because if you looked at the order of service, it suggested that he would be walking down the aisle to his seat with his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, and therefore has a degree of freelancing gone on here. You know, I think there was a degree of consternation behind palace gates, particularly among courtiers who didn't want him to be so front and centre. Yet at the same time, I guess blood is thicker than water when it comes to the royal family. And who else can undertake that quite intimate role of actually holding the Queen by the elbow and getting her from her car to her pew? Now she has these mobility issues. It needs to be a member of family. On one hand, you could say, well, it's practical because she needs a +1. He's there by himself because the Duchess of York wasn't invited, etc., etc. And at the end of the day, whatever's been said and done, they are extremely close. He is her most regular visitor to Windsor Castle because he lives down the road and he is her son. But I think the extent to which he played a greater role than was planned, I think has raised eyebrows behind palace gates.
Are we to take from this, do you imagine, Camilla, that in the view of the Queen, there's nothing to see here? Andrew has paid the money and we can start looking to redeem him?
No, I don't think that's quite the case. She's the one who, along with Charles and William, took the decision in January to strip him of his military and royal duties, and I don't think there's any coming back from that. In fact, Buckingham Palace made it very clear that those patronages were going to be passed on to others, and that was the end of the matter. So, in one respect, I think we look at this event in isolation. It doesn't suddenly mean that in her mind there's going to be some mind of Prince Andrew. That's a different thing altogether. The cynic might suggest that, there's been a degree of manipulation going on here so that he has been more prominent in an event than he might have been. Having said that, on the other hand, the Queen has got all of her faculties about her and knows what she's doing, and if she felt that her own son should be involved in his own father's memorial, then that's that, but it doesn't necessarily set a precedent for the future. I don't think we'll see very much of him at all moving forward.
That's my final question, Camilla. This summer, of course, we have the Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Surely this now makes real possibility that we will see him in some way, shape or form in the public eye during those celebrations.
Well, let's be clear, palace courtiers do not want that to happen. It just depends how much control they have over him, because now he has been exiled from the royal family. I mean, he didn't take that much advice in the first place, but he's kind of out of the remit of palace advice and therefore can operate on his own basis. I spoke to somebody who does know him well and said, is he going to come to the Platinum Jubilee yesterday? And they said, oh, doubtful, although it's too early to tell.
Camilla Tomlin, catch her on NBC Sunday afternoons from 4. Thank you for that. Associate Editor of the Telegraph, big piece in the paper. And a big piece on the website for the Daily Mirror yesterday. For Associate Editor and columnist Kevin Maguire, who joins me now. You were less than impressed, Kevin. And just to pick up on Camilla's point, if it helps a woman get through the trauma and the ordeal of a service for her husband of decades, surely we allow that? Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Nick. You could have great sympathy for a very elderly woman who's nearly 96 and lost her husband for more than 70 years. And of course, if she needs help, she needs help. But she could have asked Charles, Anne, Edward, and grandson William to take her by the arm and lead her in, not a man who paid £12 million to settle a sword and sex case and stay out of court. This felt like a deliberate rehabilitation, parading him and doing so at a memorial service where she, the Queen, and Buckingham Palace would calculate that because of the nature of it, because it's the death of somebody, her husband, that she would be free of criticism. Well, there was a big tension between the private woman and the public role. And I think she's made a colossal mistake here. And it's not just people like me who are very sceptical about the royal family. I know true blue royalists, real monarchists to their fingernails, who were disgusted by it. It wasn't just surprise, it was a real distaste.
Noting what Camilla told us, this wasn't as what was anticipated. Do you think this is freelancing or trying to perhaps get some sharp elbows from the Duke of York, Kevin?
That'd be worrying if it is he's able to manipulate his mother, the Queen, a monarch, in that way. And of course, there is the Platinum Jubilee. Will we see him there? Will he be dancing on a stage next? Will he be at the 40th anniversary of the Falklands War? Will he be parading in his uniform? And everybody would expect him to go to a service for his father. But he should have been sitting at the back behind a pillar, almost out of sight, not giving the most prominent role after the Queen herself.
Check out Kevin's piece on the Daily Mirror website. It's headlined, Queen made colossal mistake by letting Prince Andrew escort her to the Philip Memorial. Kevin Maguire is, of course, associate editor on the title and also columnist, The Reason to Buy the Paper every Monday. Kevin, thank you for that. Let's just get one thing absolutely right. If it helps a woman, indeed if it helps a man, if it helps anyone to have one of their children by their side, of course you'd allow just about anything. That being said, this is the Queen. He, of course, has denied all allegations, but we understand he's paid something in the region of £12 million. With the greatest of respect for a woman who very, 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 I can't even remember anything she ever got wrong. Was this a misstep? Take your views in a moment.
In 2 miles, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
Talk some kind of ceasefire deal. White House Communications Director Kate Bedingfield said the US is skeptical.
No one should be fooled by Russia's announcements. We believe any movement of forces from around Kyiv is a redeployment and not a withdrawal. The world should be prepared for a major offensive against other areas of Ukraine.
More on that after this, the 7:15 LBC news headlines read by Simon Conway.
Ukraine and its allies are remaining cautious over Russia's promise to scale back military activity in Kyiv. A final report is to be published over maternity failings at an NHS trust in Shropshire. Figures show shop price inflation has hit its highest rate in more than a decade. LBC weather turning colder with rain and wintry showers, a high of 14 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Anne-Marie Walsh. On the clockwise M25 is queuing from junction 26 at Waltham Abbey to 27 at the M11 following an accident. All lanes have just reopened. There are delays on the anti-clockwise side. It's slow towards the Dartford Tunnel. That was following an accident earlier on. And it's already looking busy in Greenwich on the A102 northbound. That's slow moving towards the Blackwall Tunnel. On the train, South Western Railway have no service between Guildford and Wimbledon. That's because of electrical supply problems at Effingham Junction. There's no service on the DLR from Heron Keys to West Ferry and Poplar, and trains are not stopping at West India Quay and Canary Wharf because of problems with the station lighting.
This is LBC.
AJ Value Invest gives you the security and control to look after your investments, whether it's a stocks and shares ISA or a self-invested person.
There's congestion ahead.
Investment ideas make it easy to get started. You work hard for your money, and we want it to work hard for you. So get investing in your future at youinvest.co.uk. Open an account by the 5th of April to beat the tax year deadline. AJ Value Invest does not provide advice. Capital at risk. Tax rules apply.
Call Nick Ferrari now. 0345 6060 973 LBC.
Sam, put down that spoon. It's time to go to the movies.
It's 7 a.m.
Popcorn o'clock with a Samsung Galaxy S22 series.
But I've got work.
Does work have a dynamic AMOLED 2X display?
No? What's on?
Entertainment. That's what, with 12 months Disney Plus on us.
Dingy. Get back out there with the epic Samsung Galaxy S22 series. Buy yours at Samsung.com. Disney Plus auto renews at £7.99 a month. 18 plus only. Terms apply.
To help you travel with confidence on the TfL network, we're cleaning regularly with antiviral disinfectant, providing over 1,000 free hand sanitizer stations, and frequently circulating fresh air on tubes, buses and trains. To help everyone feel safe.
In a quarter of a mile, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
Unless you are exempt. Thank you for helping to keep yourself and others safe. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
We're all, more or less, in the business of adjusting. More record keeping, less device beeping, more troubleshooting.
Exit at junction 3.
More network connecting, service perfecting, partner selecting, team directing, payment collecting, and less of the messy rest.
In a quarter of a mile, at Cranford Parkway Interchange, take the 4th exit onto the Parkway, A312.
Everything, including insurance. Superscript, monthly business insurance shaped around you.
Big tasty, please. The big tasty with bacon, yeah. It's got to be the big tasty barbecue.
Big tasty with bacon, an all-new Big Tasty barbecue. 3 big tasties, 1 big decision. Served after 11 a.m. Subject to availability at participating restaurants until the 26th of April.
From Goldbank London, the safe and sound way to buy gold. Part 2. Not all gold is the same.
Every gold bar or coin is unique. So it takes a gold expert to help you have faith in what you're buying. At Goldbank, we have the knowledge and know-how to make your gold buying experience a rewarding one.
Goldbank London, kept safe
for your future
and sound
with solid guidance.
Visit goldbank.co.uk.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast on LBC.
With Motorway, sell your car quickly, easily and conveniently from home for free.
7:20. Julie, you're going to be the first caller on the Queen. The front pages of the newspapers and our website divided really between royals and Russia. For the Sun, the Queen of Broken Hearts, with a daily and a very moving picture of Her Majesty the Queen. Actually, that is the front page picture of most of the papers. They don't all lead with it, though. The Daily Express, royal fallout over Queen's ultimate act of love. For the Daily Mail, royals' dismay at Andrew Roll. And the Daily Mirror, the pain and the stain. This is obviously the suggestion that brings Prince Andrew brings a rather stain to proceedings yesterday. It's also the front page of the LBC website as well. Royals' dismay and regret as Andrew takes prominent role. The other big story, which we'll look at in a few moments' time actually, can it be believed? Russians give up on conquest of Kyiv is the front page of the Daily Telegraph. Putin to withdraw troops. Similar for the Times, Russians promise to ease Kyiv onslaught. Similar for the front page, though, of the Metro. It's
Exit the roundabout onto the parkway.
to withdraw some of his troops in Ukraine. We'll have a report, by the way, from Ukraine in just a minute on that, or reaction, I should say.
Continue on the parkway for 1 mile.
Gate in number 10. PM in denial over number 10 party fines. The I saying he still doesn't accept lockdown rules were broken. And the Guardian police issue first 20 Partygate fines. Let's talk about the Queen and Prince Andrew. Julie in Islington, again, a grieving widow, but was it the right call as regards her role as Queen? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. I'm just so angry with the way the press are treating the Queen this morning. The woman is 96 next month. She has served this country beyond what most of us deserve. And it was her husband's memorial service.
Yeah.
And she chose to have her son there. Whatever people say or think, he was never proven guilty. It was settled in America.
With a check for £12 million.
But that was the court, Nick. That was
No, that was his lawyers agreeing.
Did he have a choice?
Well, yes, he goes to court. He could go to court. Julie. Yes, he goes to court and clears his name.
Yeah, but did she want to go to court?
Well, I don't know, but if you're... I'm not suggesting he's not innocent. Of course he's innocent, because we know otherwise. But if you're so determined of your innocence, wouldn't you say, I'll save everyone £12 million, I'll have my day in court? And by the way, no one's attacking the Queen.
No.
Honestly, Julie, we're not attacking the Queen. It's Andrew.
But they are.
No. What would have been so wrong? Excuse me.
Have you never been to a funeral where there's not a black sheep?
Have I ever been to a funeral? I've been to two.
Every family has a black sheep.
Probably
I've been to several.
But you don't put them front and centre, do you? What would have been so wrong? No, Julie, you must let me get a word in, my darling. What's so wrong with William walking her in and Andrew just walking in?
In a quarter of a mile, at Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit and stay on the parkway, A312.
Walking with two children, one on each hand.
Really?
Yes.
With all those people there?
Yes, I think there's plenty of detectives. Well, Julie, you think it was right. I'm grateful to you. Thank you. We'll have more views on that in a moment. Thank you to you, Julie. Let's pick up on the other big story of the day at 7:23. Russia pledging to drastically cut back its military activity in northern Ukraine to help advance peace talks, but there's considerable doubt over that. Here's Alexander Fomin, Russia's Deputy Defense Minister, speaking yesterday.
Taking into account the principles discussed during today's meeting, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation has decided to fundamentally cut back military activity in the direction of Kiev and Chernihiv.
Understandable scepticism from the West. British Defence Secretary Ben Wallace speaking on a visit to Norway yesterday.
They are still carrying on indiscriminately.
Exit the roundabout onto the parkway. Continue on A312 for 1.5 miles.
Don't match their words. I think that's the advice to everyone: is judge Russians on actions, not words, because there's a big gulf between the two.
To Ukraine and to Alexander Danylyuk, who served a number of senior positions, former finance minister and secretary of national security and defense council in Ukraine under President Zelensky, and joins me now. Good to have you on, sir. Do you believe a word he says? Good morning.
No, we don't. We don't. Russian proved many times that you cannot trust their words. What they're doing now is a trick, a very simple trick. By the way, just to start, to have a right start, in Kiev, where supposed to be de-escalation, the whole morning is sound of shelling. So there is no factual de-escalation. You know, the level of shelling is at the same level, and absolutely the same in Chernihiv. So all these reports that Russia withdrew some troops yesterday, that was just a tactical move of troops. Now I'll explain what is the trick.
Yes.
Basically, what is going to happen now is Russia is going to relocate some of its resources to the east of the country, right? And will focus their attacks there in order to take Donetsk and Lugansk, take full control of Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast. What they also expect, and this is what actually worries me the most, is that our army will stop advancing near Kiev and Chernihiv. And this is where we showed, over the last couple of days, we're actually retake some of our towns. And they will blame Ukraine that we actually didn't want de-escalation in Kiev and Chernihiv. So it's like a small trap, and Russia are known for these traps. So we don't believe in any words they say. As you know, negotiation will continue, so we should closely watch it. But instead of just taking their word for granted, it needs to be taken in the context. Okay, what kind of game are they playing? And this game is quite actually simple to understand.
As a senior politician, do you believe that Roman Abramovich, the oligarch, could, as is being reported, play a role in bringing about peace?
His role is actually very difficult to understand. Clearly, it looks like he represents Russian side. At the same time, there is some connection on Ukrainian side with him. So he acts as an intermediary. I don't know how much of it is his real contribution, or is actually his attempt to avoid sanctions. This is also his personal interest, because he looks at his other compatriots, Russian oligarchs, who were severely hit by sanctions. And he clearly doesn't want to be among them. So, we should give him a chance, obviously, but he has a double agenda.
I'm grateful for your time. Stay safe. Good luck to you today in reporting that the shelling has already started in Kyiv. Alexander Daniluk is former Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, serving under President Zelensky, and served as Finance Minister prior to that. Let's come back to what we saw here in the UK.